talks with Chucky, me and you. It's big small talks, BSing with the group. It's big small talks, expanding points of view. It's big small talks, it's big small talk.
And we live. You are
There
the
we go.
host now. We are recording. What's up, my dude?
What up, man?
How's Los Angeles?
Great. Just overviewing, just looking over Los Angeles from my hotel room.
I'm just kicking it with my dude over here. He's over there just, catching the sights. I told him I had to record a podcast really quick, so he's going to go swimming right now.
I like
just,
this whole, I like these different backgrounds.
Just over here in New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Just decided to come over here for a second.
Isn't that where Lord of the Rings is filmed?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I don't know if this is in there at all.
Maybe, no, I don't think so.
It looked nice. It looked nice. Yeah. So I was like, it looks better than my bed. So decided to come over here for a second.
Yeah, just pop in to New Zealand.
Just pop in. Just see the sights.
Dude, I want to do the walk to Mordor in New Zealand.
I know we were talking about that. Yeah, we were talking about that. That sounds super fun. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Like if we ever come into some money as a reward to ourselves, we should do that as a podcast trip. Just like, you know what? Like, we've done work. Like, we deserve this.
And we could be like vlogging the whole time.
Yeah. That'd be tight. Do podcasts in over there in Mordor.
Yeah. We're in Mordor. There's kind of orcs flying around. No big deal. Sauron's eyes looking at us.
Yeah, just up. I could be a little dwarf and you could be fucking Aragon or whatever.
Yeah.
Be all giant.
Dude, I'm telling you, you got the hair for him now.
I know. It's coming in nice. I can't wait till it falls over my shoulders, so it's not this poof. Yeah. I just want it to fall nicely down. Very, very nice. But I was telling you, it comes up in that bun now, it's so nice to not have my hair, a little hair sticking out. Like I was getting that Jewish look for a while.
Oh,
yeah. I was getting the little hairs down here,
Yeah.
Jewish sideburns. So
see, mine doesn't grow like that. Mine just goes up. Like it's long right now, but it just goes up. Fro.
I went to this. It was like a brunch place with some of the girls.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. And I think it's called Squeeze in.
Yeah.
Squeeze in. I didn't really care for it.
It's a little overhyped because it was on the Food Network.
Yeah, I just had pancakes and eggs and bacon, and it was not anything. I make better pancakes, I think, with the box pancakes.
Well, the thing with them is their omelets, and they have some crazy ass omelets.
Yeah, so I just wasn't feeling an omelet that day, and then I'm not drinking right now, so I didn't get mimosas, and that's what they were all about. So
yeah, it's a little pricey.
Yeah,
it's a little because they're
that's what I'm saying. For what it was, I was I like the avocado house better. I think the avocado house was 10 times better, and their omelet is huge.
Yeah, the only thing is there's some crazy ass omelets that Squeeze in that I like. That
really?
You don't have anywhere else. They'll throw gravy on that shit. They'll throw they have a PB&J omelet. They go kind of crazy, but it is a little pricey because everything says as seen on Food Network, Network. So they're really riding into it.
Their menu is all over the place too. I couldn't understand the menu. I like that old school menu where it's this is what it is, this is what's in it, this is how much it costs. Here's a picture. It's just so
and it's breakfast, lunch, dinner. Yeah, they were
omelets over here, a combination of plates over here, but then we also have some stuff over here. Sides are right in the middle.
But there's more omelets on this side.
Yeah, it was flip the page. We got the real good omelets over here.
Yeah, they're. I mean, even if you look at the vibe in there, every table is different, every chair is different, every mug is different.
It's very all over the place.
Yeah, they're picking from different things.
It's secondhand store. It's secondhand stores. That's how they were able to get their business up and running.
Literally, they're sure, get those chairs.
We can't afford things that match. Let's just not match anything so that it looks like it's done on purpose.
On purpose, yeah. When really they just took all their old mugs and then now they just give it to you.
It's all secondhand from old restaurants. You got a Olive Garden chair and a Red Robin table and a Starbucks table.
It's hey, are you getting rid of anything? Yeah, we'll take
it. Yeah. They go dumpster diving. when people are like throwing things out. When do you get your order in during the week so I could just, go check out your dumpster?
I'll just be there.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is there like
take it off your hands.
shit on this table?
Why is there a Red Robin logo on this chair right here?
Yeah. It's just aesthetic.
Yeah.
So it was cool though?
Yeah, it was cool. It was I was there for the company and the community and to kick it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had never heard of the place. So they wanted their mimosas, so I was there for
I thought you went there with us before.
No, I had never been there before.
Oh, okay. Because I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah, but anyway, what I was gonna say is the dude, our server, he had very curly hair, like maybe a little bit like straighter than yours, but he had long hair and he had it up in the bun, but you could tell his hair was like curly, and so it was kind of like poofy out, but he had like the top bun kind of deal.
Right.
He looked pretty hot. All the girls were all,
the whole time.
Yeah. But like, if you were able to like man through the awkward stage of getting, whatever, and then just fucking you were able to do that, I feel like you could pull that off nice.
I know. When it grows long though, it just keeps just like a fro, and I'm like, it just gets uncontainable.
I like it when you have like hair on the top though, like and like really trim sides, and you kind of like you can like either throw it back or to the side, and it's like that curl up top. I like that style on you.
I what I'm thinking is I like it for when it's like colder season, and then I think when it gets hot again, I'm gonna just go back to the buzz, and then I'm gonna just kind of flip flop that.
I mean, buzz definitely looks cleaner. I just feel like with the hair, it looks more like young and fun Charlie.
That's what I think though too. I think it looks like I got like that's my thing, my shtick.
Yeah. Because my dad always tells me like, I don't like you with long hair. I think you look way better with short hair. And I was like, yeah, I look way better, but I don't want to look that way. I want to look homeless. I want to look like an artiste.
Yeah. See, Sienna likes the buzz. I get some compliments on the buzz too. I feel like the buzz just looks like hot boy. Like I'm trying to look like I'm like serious man. Where like this is like, all right, I can have a little
especially with the tats and everything, and then you got the little bit of the facial hair, and you're tall. You got that whole vibe rocking for you. Yeah, you got the whole vibe rocking for you. Yeah. You look very LA.
Thank you. Well, this is what I'm trying to
if we could get you in some boots and like, I don't know, like just to wear cardigans and stuff, you could even have that hipster, like, especially with like where they roll up the sleeves, and they're in the flannel, and then they wear the jeans, but with the boots.
There was a couple years there where I was a little preppy. Yeah. And then I feel like that wasn't me. Like,
see, but I wouldn't go preppy though, because when I think preppy, I think like Carlton or like or American Eagle Hollister polos.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the lumberjack kind of like coffee going hipster guy.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you were to get, like if you could grow out a full beard, and then
if I'm going full beard, I'm going full lumberjack.
Lumberjack, dude. Yeah. Hopefully by the time you're like 40 or whatever, this starts to come in. It even looks like you have more in than typical.
Yeah, I feel like it's growing in a little more. There's still little patches, but
it is. Maybe by the time we're 40, you did.
I trimmed the mustache, so it's not just like mustachy. It's more like you can see this part. Because if not, because I was gonna do it reverse, where I was gonna have just the mustache and then kind of trim this, and Sienna did not approve. So
I was flossing the other day, and my hairs were getting caught in with the floss in my teeth, and I was pulling hairs while I was flossing, and then I had hair stuck in my teeth.
Bro. No. Yeah,
this is very counterproductive.
Once it starts going to my lip, I just shave that. I trim it.
You got it. I don't shave it. I trim it. Yeah. I'll like put it over my lip, and then I'll come in with the scissors, and I'll do that little angle thing, give it a little bit of layering.
There you go.
Yeah.
A little layering, get a little bangs.
Yeah. But I have a pretty full mustache now.
Yeah, your mustache is full.
I mean, it's coming in hot. I wish that we didn't have to wear masks still, because I would invest in some beard oil, but it's just pointless to buy beard oil right now. I gotta wear masks. So.
I know one of our
save
newer
that
coworkers.
$15.
One of our newer coworkers was like, "Oh, I didn't know you had a goatee." I'm like, first of all, I have a beard.
Yeah.
Like, let's get that straight. I have a beard.
Yeah.
But I was like, I do not. Like, I have I mean, I know I wear a mask, but like you can see the side. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really know because she like added me on Instagram and she was like, "Oh, I didn't know you had a goatee," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's got a full beard. It's a beard." Yeah, I was a little like, and because my mustache.
Do you know what a goatee is?
That's all this, and so I was like, I don't like that. I don't like being like a 40-year-old goatee guy.
It's very pervy.
I feel the mustache is pervy.
It depends. It depends on if it's a good mustache. If it's a little baby, you know, like it's between. So you have the Hitler mustache, right, where it's like very small,
right.
But then if you go a little bit further than that, a little bit thicker than the Hitler mustache, then you go pervy. But then if you have like a full blown out, like where you could do the handlebars kind of mustache, I don't think those look as pervy.
No, or when it's
they look more like French.
Cop, when you look like a cop, you know, or like a firefighter with the big mustache.
Or like see,
what's the dude's name? The one that everybody likes from back in the day.
The firefighter?
No, the dude on Friends. Has a big mustache.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The not Rachel, the other girl's boyfriend, right?
Monica's boyfriend, yeah.
Monica's
Richard.
boyfriend. Yeah, I forgot.
Richard.
Yeah, Richard.
What's his name in real life?
I know who you're talking about. Here, let me check it out right here. Richard from Friends.
He has like the iconic mustache.
Tom Selleck.
There you go. See, he has the iconic Tom Selleck mustache. You know what I mean? That's what we all strive to.
Yeah, his is nice. His is just really thick, but I don't know. He just has that.
I'm not a handlebar guy though. I'm not.
He doesn't. But his mustache doesn't even go out very far to his sides. He almost has like a Hitler mustache, but it's just thick and full. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm not a handlebar mustache guy.
Yeah, nah. I don't think I am either, because I could have that, but I just don't really think that I'd rock that well.
Yeah.
I like having facial hair too, because for me, my own insecurities and everything, my facial hair hides my acne scars. I had like nasty, you know, because I used to have really bad cystic acne, and I had it for a long time. And so just, you know, over time, they develop into scars. And then I have a bunch of cuts and scars from my hockey stitches. So my face is all bruised up. So when I have facial hair, it kind of like hides that a little bit. Yeah, because like when I shave, it's like, wow, like you have so many scars. Like, thanks.
This means you went to war, bro.
When I was like in high school, living through my severe acne life, when I would go to church, because I was an Awanas teacher, so it's like the little kids, like, you know, classrooms and stuff. And so and I'm with I was, you know, raised in a black church, and so I'm with a bunch of black kids, right? I'm the only white guy in field division other than my dad. and so I'm like, you know, kicking it with these little 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, all the way up to like 10, and they're my best friends. They're like homies, right? Yeah. But they, you know, kids say the darndest things. There's no, they don't filter. Know. And no filter whatsoever. And this little guy, his name was Christian. He was like maybe 4 or 5 at the time. And he goes, "Why is your face always so bloody?"
You're like,
I'm nope. Like, you know, like, oh, it's called acne. Like, you know, you might know what it's like in a few years, you know? He's like, I mean, you're white, and I don't see any black people with that kind of stuff on their face. And I was like, yo, like, you know,
you're like, dog, that's racist.
For you, it's darker. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like mine. Like, mine's white on red. You know, yours is just going to be a little like more like blackhead. You know. And I'm over here having this conversation with this like little 4-year-old. But
like, what a dick.
I was like, yeah, dude. I was playing hockey one time, and you know, just trash talk, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, he was on me the whole entire game. It was like every time my line would go out there, he'd be out there, and he was a center, so he was covering me. And when we weren't near the puck, because I was a center, so it's a lot of like back and forth, because I'm basically, you know, becoming the third defender, you know, where the 2 wingers, they stay more at the point in the defensive zone. So in the defensive zone, I'm more low, so I'm like the center defender type thing. And then in the offensive zone, I'm like the first one in, because I'm like the fastest one. So like it's a lot of skating.
You're
back
in the
and
middle
forth.
of both. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. in soccer, I think it's called the midfielder, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so this guy's just following me, and I'm making him work for it, you know, because I'm fast, and I had good stamina at the time, and so every time something would happen or like whatever, we'd be like, you know, going back and forth. And one of the things that he said, he's like, it's called Accutane, man, or like it's called like what's the I know
Proactive.
Yeah, it's called Proactive. And he basically shot himself in the foot, and I was like, I've tried it doesn't work. I was like, I've tried it doesn't work, trust me.
Thanks, bro.
And he's all like, it was funny though, because he tried to like roast me, but then he was like, oh really, you've tried it? I was like, dude, I've tried everything, look at my face, do you think that I haven't you think I just like having this face? You don't think I've tried everything? And he's like, like, so like him trying to like burn me, like he just ended up feeling bad. It was hilarious,
dude. In junior high, there was this dude who got a girl Proactive for her birthday, bro.
No,
dude, it was so bad.
I mean, okay. I mean, not the best.
No,
like route to take.
He did it mean.
Maybe not for a birthday, right? Like he did it to be mean.
Yeah, like he did it like I'm pretty sure he did it to be mean, and we all like died laughing. Like,
bro, I mean, it is pretty funny, but damn, that's rough.
So
that's
fucked up.
That is
so
rough.
fucked up. I mean, maybe
was it a friend? Nice. Was it a friend or was it a girl he was seeing?
I think so. I mean, it was a small junior high, so we're all pretty close. And I think he was like an older kid. I mean, I think they were cool. We were all cool, but like we just like it was like, oh no, like that's not what you get for a birthday, bro.
Yeah, there's like just some things that you can't buy girls, you know, without without it being offensive. Even if your heart was in the right place, like, oh, like I tried this but that's why I don't think. Obviously, he's doing it to be funny.
He's a 13-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Like, he's not.
But like, if I was to get like a girl like Proactive or something like that, it would be more like just here, try this out, like not for a birthday.
A birthday, yeah. Or you'd be like, hey,
Christmas
like,
happy anniversary.
Yeah, I tried it. You know, like here, like that's different. But just to be like, yo, like you need some Proactive, dog, for your birthday is
for sure. Yeah, that's rough.
Dude, back to the facial hair. You know what you could do? I could see you doing the super cholo. Like if you cut that short and just did this and this, dude, that gives street cred right there, bro.
I feel like I'd look like
the Michael B. Jordan, thing where it's just you cut that short, like just right here, and keep that.
I'm scared to try anything.
I know, me too. Because if you do bad, you just have to shave it all.
Shave it all off, and I'd rather not. You know, I'd rather just be all natural. I mean, I barely trim this. I mostly trim my neck, and then under my neck right here, because it kind of starts to go out under my chin. But I don't even touch that really.
I forgot to bring my razor here at the hotel, so my neck's kind of growing out a little longer, like down here. But it's trash. I'm going
have you ever heard of Manscaped?
Yeah.
I want to get that so bad.
That trimmer.
It's for your balls though.
Yeah.
It's specific for that. It doesn't cut your balls. Yeah,
I know.
It doesn't cut your balls. It's like $80 though.
I've done that before.
Dude, it hurts. You've done that before? It hurts.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I'm not gonna cut it. Like, there's no possible way that I could cut it. I never cut my face with that thing, right?
Yeah.
But the ball skin is so thin.
That's why usually I use a razor. Like, I do that thing like I do like baby, you know, like baby smooth. It's like a razor. I basically take it to a barber, and I do like the whole hot towel, you know, and then straight razor it, you know.
No wonder you take so long in the damn bathroom.
Oh, we know. Yeah, me and my brother both take long.
I would wake up in the morning, because you know me, I wake up 10 minutes before I have to leave, because all I do is get dressed, pee, brush my teeth, and I'm out. That's all I do. Yeah, I'm out. I wake up 10 minutes before I got to go to work. I got it down to a science.
Yeah.
But I would wake up in the morning and like open the door, and I would see that you're still in there. So I'd like close the door and like go back to bed for like 5 minutes. And then I like open the door, and then like you're still in there. So I'd go back to bed for 5 minutes, and then I'd open the door. I'd go pee outside, and then I would just gargle some water and then just dip. Cause like, you know, I don't give myself enough time to like.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta knock. You'd be like, yo. Because the thing is, like, I mean, I'm showering or I'm manscaping, and then also I have to like usually take like a morning shit. I go to the bathroom. I have to do like my hair. I have to do my teeth. See, that's the thing too. We're talking about like longer hair. It takes me way longer in the morning because I have to put product in it. I got to make sure it's good. Like you know, like How I Met Your Mother, like Ted Mosby, when he's like, it has to look like it's like messy, but you made it like that. Like it has to be like an organized chaos.
Yeah.
So that's 100%. Me. Yeah. So I'm always like.
Yeah, but that's that was the whole thing, is I didn't want to interrupt the process, and I was fine with peeing on the side of the house because that was my bathroom anyway. So
yeah, I was very comfortable with that. No, like personally, like I wouldn't do it. Like I'm fine with you doing it, but I just like I'm not that dude to go to the bathroom outside.
I love it. I just like being outside, just like just not needing to touch anything. You're out there. You're out there with the birds. The sun's shining on you.
My cat.
You wave to the neighbor. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah.
Not one of those dudes.
The way God intended it.
I'm like, I'll wait. There's a line. Just go outside. Oh wait. Yeah.
You won't even like pee on the side of the road during a road trip or whatever. You'll wait.
No, I mean, like I have. It's just not my first choice. If there's like a bathroom right there, it's like I'll go to the bathroom. But if it's like there's no bathroom, it's like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. But then I'm the guy to find like the far bush where they're like, hey, just go right here. And I'm like, there's wind and there's people driving right by. Like, no, like I'm gonna go find the bush. You know.
What about when you're camping? Do you camp in the woods or do you go to the bathroom?
Last time I camped, we were pretty close to the bathroom, so I just walked to the bathroom. Like it was like right, like you could see it, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
You know I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, you know.
Yeah. So you're in a hotel?
Yeah.
You're in a hotel. How much longer you got there?
Till tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's my last day. Yeah.
Cool. How you feeling?
Better. I was telling you last night, I had like a little panic attack. I was not doing well last night, but what is it called? I was bad. So I mean, obviously, like I could say, I got COVID. You know what I mean? I know. Oh my God. How dare I? It's like you have leprosy. You know what I mean? Like you have to get isolated.
Stay away. We should end this call. I don't want to receive it through the airwaves.
Through the airwaves? Yeah. My family was just basically like
Wi-Fi waves.
We had points saved up for a timeshare. We're not traveling, so they're like, all right, let's go spend time out there. You know, basically they like kicked me away, and I was like,
nice.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So at least it didn't cost anything. So I was sick, really sick on Saturday, Sunday, Monday last week. And then I got a positive test, you know, told work. So I've been out and I was pretty sick those first couple of days, of more of like a flu. And then it turned to like a cold where it's like just my head. I'm like super congested. My head, I lost all my taste and smell, which is like the worst. Like that's the worst part. Cause like usually when you're sick, you want like comfort food. You want like but nothing is comforting because you can't taste anything.
Yeah.
And like you're
just basically eating because you know you have to.
Exactly. It's like boring. And so like I'm not even cooking anything because it's like, why cook? I can't eat it. It's all texture.
You doing soup and stuff or what?
That's the weird thing. My mom didn't get soup. We were like packing and like I got chicken and like shit like that. I have a couple apples. You know what I mean? I've been just doing like toast. Well, I've been like doing toast and eggs and I had some snacks and stuff, but once the taste and smell gone, I just don't. Yeah, well, I'm not a huge soup guy, but I should ask for soup.
I'm not a soup guy either, but when I'm sick, it's weird. Like it's almost like I crave it, but it's not that I crave it so much as it's just like it's not filling, but I know I need some sort of nutrition, you know, like some sort of like water intake, salt intake, you know, there's little pieces of chicken and vegetables and then the carbs with the noodles and stuff. And then it's just easy because it's small portion, you know, like a little cup of noodles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just easy to like.
Yeah, I should ask for a cup of noodles. I love cup of noodles.
Yeah.
But I just didn't ask my mom. My mom didn't get it. Totally dropped the ball. She's like, "Oh, just get some oatmeal." I'm like, "I don't have oatmeal here." Like, you know, I mean, I have to go to walk to a Starbucks with COVID if I do. Yeah. You know I mean, like I've been trying like not to go. Like I've been doing. I did like one drive-through, like double masked up with gloves. Yeah. But that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. You just been ordering.
Yeah. They'll put it to the front desk, so I just come down and get it.
Nice.
But like the pizza yesterday wrecked me, and like it was wrecked. So like my stomach was bad, and yeah, I know I had like pizza and boba, and like my stomach was bad, And then I'm having a panic attack. I can't breathe. I'm getting claustrophobic in this room. And I thought like my asthma and the COVID were like the perfect storm of me dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was freaking out a little bit, but I'm good.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just, you're okay now. So it's like, and I've gone through that experience of having like a panic attack, to so much so that I spent $1,800 on medical bill just because I smoked too much weed, you know?
Yeah, dude, I've had that, bro. Like I've had the panic attack, and they just
see. But like, okay, so like the weird thing is, and I don't know if this is just like your body, you know, telling you like you're smoking too much. Like obviously this is not that good for you, and you're getting older, so this is, you know, this is what's happening. And so for me, I had never gone through that experience of smoking so much weed to where I felt like I was having a heart attack. Like my left side of my shoulder was hurting. And then I couldn't feel my heartbeat. So I didn't know if my heart rate was low or high. And I didn't know what you know, a heart attack, you know, entails. Like, I don't know if you know, if it's a rapid heartbeat or if it's a, you know, decrease in heartbeat.
I think it's a pain. I think it's a sharp pain.
Dude, I don't know, but it was a pain. That's what I'm saying. And so I'm like just sitting on this chair, like, and then I'm like, do I breathe normal or do I like take deep breaths? So and then I'm like, hi. So like, you know, I'm like, what do I do? And so I'm like, okay, I can either just sit here and wait to die, or I can just take, you know, the initiative and go have somebody tell me like, you're fine, or, oh, you were going to die, you know, like, good thing you came. And then as I'm there waiting, I'm just like sobering up, and I'm like, like before the guy even came, I was like, dude, like this is, and then I'm getting anxious about like my medical bill. You know, because like, I know it's gonna cost, because they did x-rays, they did blood work,
did you have insurance?
Then but still, I mean, my $3,000 bill went down to $1,800.
Damn. Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and the guy was just like, yeah, just, you know, just smoke too much weed, you know, just, you know, like
when the doctor has to be like, dude, hit too hard, bro.
Yeah.
Well, remember when I was at the bar with you guys and I freaked out?
I wasn't there, but you told me about it with Nikki.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were there.
You told me about it.
Oh, see, then that even tells you what I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
I drove home,
Austin.
I drove home and my left side was like numb, and I sat in the bed for 4 hours, just like, I'm gonna die for 4 hours. Everyone's like, man, it usually goes away in 30 minutes. I'm like, doesn't it? Because for me, it was 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, and then I had the same exact experience after doing so. You think I would have learned, but I did an edible, and we were just watching. You know, we were just watching TV. We were watching Chris D'Elia's special, just laughing, having a good old time on the couch in the garage, and then all of a sudden. So what I've come to realize just through reading the circumstances and like the signs and stuff. So I have pretty bad circulation just naturally. And this is only developed in the past maybe 2 years, where, you know, like sleeping on my shoulder or like whatever, like my arm will fall asleep like that. Like before, I used to just like fall asleep and like nothing happened, but like I have to sleep on my back now, because if I don't sleep on my back, like my shoulders will start to fall asleep and I'll lose circulation, and it'll hurt. Like it'll feel like pain. It'll wake me up. And so and that's why I can't cuddle with Erica and like fall asleep, like, because if we're like it'll fall asleep, and I'm like, okay, like I gotta, sorry, I can't do this. But so like that happens normally, and then when you get high, all of that stuff is emphasized, right? All your feeling, your taste, your sense, like it's all emphasized. And so what was happening was I was slouched in the couch, and I'm pretty sure that like my arm just fell asleep. But because it feels like this crazy sensation of losing circulation, you know, you don't have circulation, and then again with the whole panic attack, you know, mentality, you are freaking yourself out. So then it just gets blown out of proportion, and then because you're not in the right state. So, you know, that's what exactly what happened. So I mean, that's just you live, you learn. But now
the circulation thing is really bad for me too. And I notice I get my feet get very cold, and that could be a sign of circulation, that like I'm just not getting enough blood down there or something like that. I don't know. I feel like I have bad circulation problems too.
My feet get cold too. Like aside from every other body part, like when I fall asleep, like even if it's hot, my feet are usually under a blanket. and even if I have a sheet or whatever, like I'll be chilling, or I'll keep a pillow on my chest, but my feet are always under a blanket because like my feet get cold.
Yeah, my feet are always cold. Like I would just be sitting down sometimes, like even with socks on, and they're like ice cold.
It's almost more cold with socks on because your feet sweat with shoes, and then your socks are kind of like moist.
Yeah,
and then it's cold.
Like, you take them off. It sounds counterproductive, but you take them off and they're actually better.
I know. I know. Yeah. It's weird. But you feel good now?
I feel good.
Like, do you think you're on the climb out of this? You think that was like kind of like
I thought I was
down?
Yeah, I thought I was until yesterday was a little blip, and then apparently a lot of people say the 7th day is the worst. So that might have been the kind of, because like I was weak yesterday, dude. Like I was laying down, and I'd get up and like I couldn't like stand great. Like I was weak.
Yeah. Like when you would go to the bathroom, like you would have to like recollect yourself, because
like brace myself. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but today I feel better. I think I'm on the up and up. So I go
good.
back to work on Wednesday.
Okay.
So
nice.
Basically, they said like you'll still have symptoms, and you could still test positive because it's in your system, but you can go to work as long as you don't have a fever. Which fever hasn't been my problem.
I was going to say, did you have a fever?
The first 2 days I had a low grade fever. I was kind of just like, it was very like, I'd be like 97, 99, 97, 98, 99, 97. And I was just kind of fluctuating. And so I was kind of feeling kind of weird. And then, but I felt like I had a fever. Like, you know, when you get the chills, stuff like that. And I had like, dude, I had like a hoodie and a shirt and sweats. And I still felt like really like chills and like,
do you have body aches?
Yeah. Oh my, that was the hardest part. The body
aches hurt. Yeah.
Dude, my skin was sensitive to the touch. Mm-hmm. Like my girlfriend was trying to rub my back, and I was like, please don't. Like, don't touch me. Like, don't touch me right now.
Yeah.
I was so sensitive. Like my skin was sensitive. It was
well,
really
because you're just irritable too, because you're so uncomfortable and you just want it to go away. I mean, that's why again, I'm pretty sure I had it in October of 2019.
Yeah.
Because every time I hear people's description of what they went through, I like had the same exact thing. And my fever lasted for 6 days.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad. And so, and same deal, like when you would go to stand up, and I only had to stand up to go to the bathroom. I went to the store one time, like on the 5th day, because like I needed Gatorade. I needed like other things. I had my brother and Jacob and whatever, like just to help me out. So they would bring me some of that stuff home, but like I needed that stuff. And kind of like what you were saying, like just being in that room and just being asleep, because all I was doing was watching TV and sleeping.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sleeping hours and hours and hours, and it like would not go away.
Yeah.
And so, but the body aches were like, it was so weird. Yeah. Because you're just like, oh, it was an experience that you have never gone through. Like, and you've gone through like pain of being sore, or like after a hockey tournament, you know, you've played 10 games. So like your body's like,
I felt like I had just been like hit by a train. Like I felt like I was like training or something like that. Like this was definitely the weirdest sickness. Like, and this whole week has been pretty like weird. Like it was like a cold, it was like a flu. It was like, I got all the symptoms, of course. Can't taste, can't smell, which sucks. Yeah. I'm just so unmotivated to eat anything or drink anything.
If it's anything like my illness, you know, assuming that I had it too, I didn't get fully like cleared in terms of like feeling like my normal self till a month later.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even go to the gym. So I was sick for about 2 weeks, I would say. Like actually like still had like some sort of symptoms, even though it wasn't a fever anymore. I would say I was sick for about 2 weeks. And then on the 3rd week, I was like, okay, well, I feel good now. So like, I'm going to go back to the gym. When I went to the gym, I walked into the gym and felt like completely overwhelmed. And I think I was on the bike for like 10 minutes. And after being on the bike, I knew that I couldn't like lift anything.
Yeah.
I tried. And when I went to try, I was like, no, I'm going to pass out. Because you had to wear a mask. Or no, you didn't have to wear a mask at the time. But still, it was like a crazy, just like, oh, like I'm overwhelming myself. I got it. And so I took like with being sick for that 2 weeks and everything, I took about a month and a half off of the gym, just because I still felt like really, really weak.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah,
if it's anything like what I went through, like I'd imagine that you'd have that too. Like your taste and all that kind of stuff is just going to be slow.
It's going to be all slow. I mean, Sienna and I were sick on the end of 2019. We thought that was it, but this is definitely different. Like we feel weird. Like it's like a weird feeling. And then I was looking it up. Sometimes they could take a year for my taste to come back. Bro, like I'm gonna be so depressed if I can't taste for a year. I mean, I'm gonna be skinny.
Maybe that'll get you skinny though.
Dude, I lost weight already. I already know because I'm not eating as much. I'm just drinking black coffee. So like the other day, Sienna was like, "You look skinny," and I was like, "Thank you, it's my COVID." Like I feel good.
Yeah.
But the
COVID
thing was too
is the new 2020 diet.
Hell yeah, bro. I mean, the thing is though, like I've been pretty bad with the, like recovery. I've been like playing video games till, like 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Like doing the stupid shit where I should just be like sleeping. So because I'm like, I don't work tomorrow.
I mean, that's all I did. I couldn't even. I would wake up like for a second and watch like a show and like binge watch a show, but then through binge watching the show, I would just fall asleep because I had that fever for like 6 days. So like I couldn't even think about like making music or taking the time of being off of work to do something. I was like, I couldn't even do that. I was just sleeping the whole, but when I get sick, I get sick. I do that when I get sick normally. Like I'm just in bed sleeping. Like I can't even wake up.
The video games I usually do, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
But I got to watch Super Bowl, so that was nice because I was supposed to work. So I didn't have to work to watch Super Bowl. So
that's nice.
Pretty cool.
I mean, because you always work Sundays.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last Super Bowl Sunday that you've had off.
Unless I requested really long, long in advance, whatever.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be off early because she let me get off at like 4 and starts at 3:30. So I was gonna be fine for it, but at least I had to chill out and watch Super Bowl. So
what did you think? What did you think?
It was a pretty obviously like the Bucks destroyed them, but there was like so many penalties that they called. Like some were pretty like bullshit calls, honestly. But
there was a lot that weren't though. There was a lot that they were just being careless. Like the holds, there was a couple holds where it was
no.
They're just being careless.
The Chiefs were being careless, but there was a couple PIs. The one in the end zone was kind of dumb because if the ball's uncatchable, then it's not a PI. And the ball was thrown way above his head, but it wasn't catchable.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't have been a PI, but that got him from I think he got it from like the 6-yard line to like the 1 with a new set of downs. So like that's kind of what happened. But I think they still stopped him. And then there was another PI where it was kind of like, I don't know if it was questionable if he can catch that.
What's a PI?
Pass interference. So basically like if you're going to catch the ball, I can't get in your way.
Right. Until you touch the ball. Yeah.
Right. So we either have to both go for the ball or you go for the body after I've catched it or caught it or whatever. But it looked like he had tripped him, but the ball was pretty overthrown. So again, if it's catchable. And so it was like that, like, I don't know, but it kind of.
Are you able to challenge penalties in football?
They just did that. Actually, the Rams, we got away with like a big PI call, and once we went to the Super Bowl, and basically like they made it so you could challenge the PI. But what's weird now is you can only challenge, I think, pass interference. That's it. I don't think you can challenge other things. But yeah, so it was kind of close, but the Chiefs didn't play great. You know what I mean? The Bucks have a really good defense, and their the Chiefs offensive line was like really dinged up. They were hurt. It was backups, and the Bucks front line is like really good. Like they were really strong. They'll get the quarterback. So like if they're pressuring you, you know what I mean? And so it's called rushing 4 basically. So usually your front 4, if you can rush with just 4 guys and get pressure, that means you have enough guys to sit back and play defense. Because if not, then you have to rush 6 guys or something like that, but you have less people on the back end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they did really good rushing 4, rushing 5, and they just, good defense, good offense. They were solid. But the weird thing about this game is like, so obviously it was in Tampa Bay. So it was like the first time there was a home team at like a person playing in the Super Bowl at home, which is the Buccaneers, and they won.
Right.
Because usually it's
they had that advantage.
And the thing too, so usually Super Bowl is like executives, it's companies, it's not actual fans. That's one of the misconceptions. It's actually not fans at all. It's like all people who work in the NFL, it's companies, it's stuff like that.
Higher ups.
Right. Not a whole lot of fans. You can't buy tickets in Super Bowl.
And that's why they're so expensive, right? I mean, in order to even, you have to like get tickets for them, like by knowing something or whatever. But this year,
it was all first responders from the Tampa Bay area, which most likely from the Tampa Bay area, you're going to be rooting from Tampa Bay. Right. So it was almost like a home game. So that was kind of like another additive of like, damn, like these are actual Tampa Bay fans in Tampa Bay, so they kind of had that too, which is pretty crazy.
That advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's statistically proven that like you play better on home field for pretty much every sport.
So usually you have a week in that city. So like, just say like it's in New Orleans, you're in New Orleans the week prior and there's a whole Super Bowl week. Mm-hmm. They didn't fly in. The Chiefs didn't fly until Friday. So they were only in town for like 2 days. Tom Brady got to sleep in his bed with his family and drive his car to the stadium. You know what I mean? Like that's like a big advantage. So, you know what I mean?
That's interesting.
But the Chiefs were the better team. I mean, they should have won, but the Bucs just got you together.
A better game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just had a better game.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was cool to watch. It was like, because I kept waiting for Mahomes and the Chiefs to like go off, and like, they held them. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, and that's the crazy thing about football, I guess, too, is that, it boils down to one game. Like you have to play your best every single game.
Yeah.
And, with basketball, with hockey, with soccer, you got a best of either 5 or 7. So it's like if you play a bad game, it's almost make upable, but once you play the 3 bad games, you're pretty much, you got to pull something out of your hat. But you got pretty much like 2 or 3 fails that you're allowed, and then but you can make it up.
That's what they say.
With football, it's wild because you can't have a bad game.
That's what they usually say, is that like with the games, like a 7-game series, the better team will usually win because they'll have 7 games to right the ship. Where this is like, I mean, it kind of leads for more like fun as watching, because you're like, okay, like
everything's on the line.
I mean, that's why March Madness is so big with basketball. Yeah. I mean, it's one game, all or nothing. You can win and move on. So,
Do you think though that this being the highest league for the sport, football, do you think that there should be like a best of like maybe 3 tournament for the final? Would that be something that you think? I mean, because I know the games are long. And I know that these players go through a lot of abuse with their bodies and all this kind of stuff like that. So
there'd be a lot more injuries. And plus, they only play once a week because of how physical it is. You know what I mean? So you would have to break that up for 3 different weeks, where like, you can do a 7-game series in basketball within like 2 weeks.
Have you ever done like an analysis of like hockey versus football though? Because I mean, hockey teams are playing probably 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what the physicality, compared to like football is, because I know that, football is like direct contact, like every single play, right? Whereas hockey, there's way more physical moments, but then there's also way less physical moments.
Right.
And it's not every single play. It's like, in terms of what's happening with the play.
Yeah. If you're thinking about the dudes on the line, so like on the defensive line and offensive line, I mean, those are 300-pound dudes, and every play they're at each other. Every play, you know what I mean? Right. So I think for that'd be kind of tough. You know what I mean? Because I think hockey would probably be obviously basketball for physicality. I mean, like you know what I mean? But there's I think that football, I don't think they can do it. You know what I mean?
What about rugby? Do they do multiple game tournaments, or is it similar to football where they? I'm either calling football players pussies, or because I'm just trying to correlate. Like you got hockey players where they play. What's up?
There's a safety thing though. There's way more concussions in football. I mean, football.
No, I understand that, but so that's why I was then veering to rugby, because they don't even have any equipment on. They don't wear helmets. Right. So I'm curious as to what their concussion rate is. And also if when they're playing in their, national championship or whatever it's called, their finals, if they do a best of 5 or a best of 3 or a best of 7 tournament, or if it's also like football where it's just one, that would be interesting too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's look that up. My computer's off. It'll be loud on the mic.
But finals. Let's see. How many games is a row?
Yeah, it'd definitely be interesting to look at. But that's why I like the NBA Finals more. I mean, like the Super Bowl is cool because it's one game, and you could have a party and do the whole thing. Where like the NBA Finals, it's like, are they going to win tonight? Are they not going to win tonight? Best of 7, you know what I mean? But I do feel like the NBA Finals go off.
Yeah.
I mean, you watched it. I mean, you watched it with me where you were like, it was like back and forth. There's like so much things that go on,
Well, and I just like the build-up of the tension with a best of 7 series because again, you're able to kind of analyze what happened. You can come back, play a better game, and then it almost gives a true fairness to who could win because there's times where the better team, who you would think would win, doesn't win because this one team comes in and plays so good and they just shut it down and they're the underdog.
But that's kind of
had they played.
That's kind of the fun of sports, though. You want the underdog to like the Warriors won like 5 years in a row, 4 years in a row, whatever, and it's like you know what I mean, like we all knew the Warriors were going to win. Where at least like football, at least it's like it wasn't always going to be Brady and the Pats. It was going to be like they can get upset, like they can be beaten.
Right.
You kind of feel like you get a fighting chance.
Right. It seems like they only play. It seems like they play two games.
Okay.
It's kind of weird.
That'd probably be the soccer thing though, because
soccer, it's similar.
Soccer you get points scored in another goal. So if you're the away team, your goals scored are actually worth more. I'm pretty sure. So like just say like because obviously if it's 2 games you could win one and lose one and then be 1-1, but it depends on how many goals were scored in the opponent's arena.
It goes and then it goes based in the tournament too, so how many points you have in the tournament. So if you guys both win and lose a game but this one team had more wins in the tournament, they have more points in the entire tournament, so then they step up.
Right.
So there's a bunch more statistics that come into play as opposed to just winning, losing.
Right.
Soccer and hockey tournaments are like that too. I mean, we would have like games where you would tie one, you would win one, and you'd lose one. So that's 2 points and 3 points. So then there was another team that lost, games, so they're automatically out because the most that they could get is 2 points. So then really it would come down to a team that won 2 games. But if another team tied and won 1 game, tied another game, and lost another game, then it comes down to goals scored because you have the same points. But now it's who has the most goals scored. If you have the same goals scored, then it goes down to goals against, who had the least goals against.
Right.
And you got the same one of that, then so there's just more statistics that come into play. Which is so fun. I love that in a tournament. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like it boils down to it because it makes you as a team need to pay attention to those specific parts of your game. We got to score as many goals as we can. You don't let up. And you got to play defense. If you don't play defense, you know what I'm saying? We could win every single game, but there could be another team that won every single game too, and their defense is better, and they're scoring more goals.
See, for me, it just seems weird that, it just say you win one, they win one, that you wouldn't just make a third game to play and just find out who the actual winner, like the grudge match.
Yeah, I think it's just because of time. If we had all the time in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go ahead and do that. But they're on such a strict schedule because they got so many different things.
Yeah.
I mean, for a national league, there's really no excuse there, I guess, because it's just another added game.
Right.
But like for youth sports, they have 12 and under, 10 and under, 14 and under. You know what I'm saying?
Tournaments,
they can't do that. But for national, top tier sports, I don't know why they wouldn't do that.
Did you? I saw we were talking about the Weeknd, the halftime performance. Did you like it?
Yeah, I didn't really watch it. I watched like parts of it. I mostly went over there to my aunt's house to kick it with my family, not so much watch the Super Bowl. Right. We were playing cards, and then during the halftime show, they wanted to play cornhole. So me and my dad got destroyed by my grandparents.
Nice.
Yeah. You know what though? My grandma has to come closer, so that's, she's closer. No, I'm just kidding. They destroyed us like fair and square. Like me and my dad, we came in finally, but we came in slow. Like we were not connecting at all at first, and they were. Like my grandpa was hitting it in every time. My grandma was hitting some. And so we made it close, and then I messed up because if I would have missed my last shot, they wouldn't have gotten 21. They would have been at 20. So I would have, we would have continued to play. But I shot and I got it on the board. Or no, I got it on the board, and then he was just able to throw his last shot, so they got 21. So,
damn,
wasn't thinking there. I got heated in the moment, just trying to get points. So I wasn't being a strategizer. But from what I saw of it, I don't really like The Weeknd, right? Like, I think he has a good voice, and I like some of his songs. But to be a halftime performance, I think you got to be entertaining outside of just your voice. And you have these past performers like Justin Timberlake or Lady Gaga or Michael Jackson or Beyonce, Bruno Mars, all these people that can sing, dance, play an instrument, play multiple instruments.
Right.
I mean, and then you got the women who are dressing up in different outfits in between every single. I mean, it's like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So like, and Lady Gaga's coming from the ceiling, and then Justin Timberlake's in the crowd, and then he's in the locker room. I mean, so you got all this stuff going on, and it just seemed like he was. I think you brought it up, like he went into the locker room or backstage, and everybody just had to watch it on the screen. And it looked cool for the internet, right? The internet, it looked cool, but I mean, I wasn't too.
It was interesting. I just feel like kind of fell flat. Like, it was cool, but it was like, eh.
Right, like, exactly. Like, again, it would be cool if you went to go see The Weeknd do that. Like, if you paid for The Weeknd to go do that, that would have been cool. But for like an intermission, I got to do whatever I can do to entertain these people for all this time.
Yeah,
and this is like the biggest performance.
He was in the stadium. Like, imagine if he was behind you. It'd be like that's how you have to watch it. Like, that kind of sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then he like finally goes down, and all the dudes were running around, and it looked kind of cool when it was all the dudes bandaged up. But then when you like zoomed out, it looked horrible. And like, cause like they had like lights on and stuff, and I was like, oh, it's probably look pretty sick when we go out. And it didn't. Just like if it was pitch black and then they had the lights, it might look better.
Like the synchronicity wasn't there.
It was fine. No, I think that was fine, but it just looked kind of like again, like I think if it's pitch black and there's lights and you just see the lights moving, that's cool. But you just see the guys running around holding lights, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like Sienna was like, he sounds out of breath. Like, you can't hear. She said the audio was bad, but you can't even hear him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, kind of like the DMA one.
And again, it's like, he has a good voice and he's a good singer, but like, that's really all he is. Like, in my perspective, I'm not like, I'm sure somebody would disagree with me there, but I think, if I'm looking at, I would argue that Justin Bieber would have been a better performer for the halftime show. He can dance, he can sing, he plays the drums, he can play the guitar, he plays the piano, he can do ballads, and he can also do like hip hoppy kind of stuff and pop music. And so and he's well liked by people that were watching it on the internet and on TV. So Miley Cyrus would have been a better halftime performer. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's just other people that you could have chosen.
There's like the whole show, the pageantry, the performance, like you're saying, that like the Super Bowl calls for itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, a normal show would have been fine, like you're saying. But yeah, I agree. I think the whole, like, because I remember watching the Beyonce and Bruno Mars where they're coming on both sides and like fighting each other, and there's like, I think was it Adam Levine, or was it guy from U2 on the guitar?
No,
and it was like,
it was U2.
It was U2, right? And so like, that was like, oh my god, there's so many people. It was like crazy. It was just kind of like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, you have somebody like a Michael Jackson or a Prince, in past times, those guys,
Justin Timberlake,
they sing, they play the guitar. Dude, Justin Timberlake was unreal. I mean, as far as the ones that I've seen in my lifetime, I would say that was like one of my favorites, because I did like, and you could tell he was out of breath, but he still sounded so good.
I know, and I like,
what I'm saying? Like,
all the songs he did were good.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. And that was, I mean,
he did all my favorites like that I would have wanted him to do at a Super Bowl,
Exactly. I think he did the Grammys or VMAs a while back, and that was really good. That's one where he came out, and then NSYNC came out for a second.
Oh yeah,
and he did the whole thing, and then they like came back. Like I just feel like he does way better,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I like The Weeknd, and people are mad because he's not like old Weeknd, which like, people evolve, but like the whole like shtick with like the red jacket and like the bandages, like, I'm so tired of it, dude.
Well,
It's been
like
going on for a while.
for me with him, it's like, excuse me, it's like he used to be like this low key independent like artist that like
Yeah.
nobody really knew about, and he had this sick, crazy, cool voice, and he had like this dark kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, R&B, very like sensual, and then
Drugs
like, you know,
vibe.
like yeah, just like really cool, like dark, mysterious kind of vibe. And then like with his popularity, it just seems like he's like going more and more and more to like the pop culture of like what hip
You
hop
hate pop.
is supposed to
You hate
be
pop,
in like
bro.
in you know, and it's just not different.
You hate
You
when
know,
they go
it's like
pop, bro.
because it's not different. You
I
know,
know.
like you got famous and you came up because of this,
Well, he's just doing the
and now
80s
instead
vibe.
of staying, what's up?
He's just doing the 80s thing. You know what I mean? The 80s vibe thing. That's all he's doing. You know what I mean?
But like I don't care about you, I don't care about an artist experimenting with different types of genres of music, right? So like if you wanted to go more poppy in terms of your sound, then like cool, by all means do whatever you want to do. Like this is your art, these are your lyrics, this is what fits for the type of emotions that you're feeling as an individual. So that's totally fine. I'm not trying to like dismiss that. What I'm saying is the actions that you take and that like you showcase to the public with your crazy music videos and like all this kind of stuff, and it's not like what the Weeknd vibe was. And mind you, like he got more popular, so like again, when you get more popular, you got to, you know, appease your higher ups or whatever. But I don't like that. That's the reason why I don't like pop, is because I don't think it's them anymore. I think it's them having an influence by the public and by the higher ups, so then they become this, right? And that's why Kendrick Lamar is so cool, because he's here, no matter what.
Yeah,
The
more
popularity,
poppy,
he's here. Like it
the
doesn't
more
matter.
poppy they get, though, they just try to expand their audience range. You know what I mean? And so
that shouldn't be the goal. To as an artist, I don't think it should, like your goal at its core shouldn't be to expand your audience's view. It should be to make whatever you think is true to yourself that you enjoy making. And if that expands your audience, cool. But if it doesn't, be happy with your core audience, because those are the people that love you and like you and want to see you like succeed. Right. And just through that positivity of that small little group of people, and Kendrick Lamar is a perfect example, right? Like he hasn't changed, even though he's gotten bigger. Like like his sound sounds better, like his lyric and his rapping sounds better. Like he's doing things outside of the box within his scope of who he wants to be, right? And so like that's what's so cool. Look at like a J. Cole, or look at like a SZA, you know what I'm saying? Like look at who else is like a, you know, like popular that's not like hip hop. Look at like Kings of Leon, you know what I'm saying? Like they were like this grunge, really low quality music production, because they didn't have that much money, they didn't have that much support from their label. But then as they got bigger and bigger and bigger, they just crafted their sound. And yeah, maybe they don't sound like garbage trash anymore, but that's like what they were doing because they didn't have the studio equipment to sound polished. Now they can sound polished, and now they're producing these well thought out albums that still sound like them originally. It just sounds crisper, right? But they're doing the same thing. It's the cousins and the brothers, and they're still making really cool music that's rock. And you and me talked about rock being kind of dead right now, right? And so like that's kind of cool. Like they haven't tried to go to this electro, you know, vibe, or maybe this more poppy vibe. Like they're still like Kings of Leon rock.
I mean,
you know, I think
what you're saying now is basically, I think, how people feel about the Weeknd. I mean, for sure. I mean, they're like, a lot of like Weeknd fans are just mad about what he's doing right now, you know? And like they don't like that. Like he can just be like, all the songs are played on the radio. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't him. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I agree. I think like I like the poppy songs the Weeknd does. Like obviously, like I like. Yeah. It's like poppy.
They're
it's
good
like
songs.
Whatever. Yeah, it's fine.
And he has such a good voice.
Yeah.
Like nobody's taking that away from him. And I don't know if he writes his lyrics. If he does, his lyrics are good too. But like he has a good voice, and and I'm not taking any credit away from that. But like just for the Super Bowl halftime show, the Super Time show. Yeah, for the Super Bowl halftime show, you're like,
it just didn't seem like a whole well-rounded performance. You know what I mean? Like as a whole,
right?
You know,
entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you're not just there to like showcase your voice. Because it would be like, you know.
Well, did you see her? Did you see hers? She didn't do the national anthem. She did the fuck did she do? Where she had the, is it that one? She had the guitar too, and she's like singing beautifully, and then just starts shredding on the guitar. Like that was sick.
Sick. See, yeah, but again, like even like
that.
with her, it's like now she's again showcasing some sort of entertainment outside of her beautiful voice. You know, she's playing a guitar. You know, it would be like you know, I don't know if she would put on a good show for the halftime show, but it would be like having Adele up there, right? Great voice, everybody loves her. She just kills it, like and one of the probably the best songwriters ever. But for the halftime show, is she going to entertain everybody?
Right, it's a show.
Because who wants to hear a good person sing, right? Like, not everybody.
I do,
like they want. I do too. Like, I would rather see that. But I'm talking about the general public who is into this whole poppy. Like, they want the visual.
Yeah, because honestly, if they wanted like a crazy performance, they should have just had like Travis Scott come out there. You know, because like I remember like watching them at Staples, like Travis Scott, Drake, do animatronics, do the whole thing. Go because they're crazy. They're going with the crowd. They like jump around stage. I mean, like do some shit like
energy.
Yeah.
Energy. Because the Weeknd doesn't bring any energy because all he can do is sing.
Well, and his
it just boils down to that. You know,
I mean, just his new stuff. I was hoping he was gonna do some old stuff. At least that would have kind of, been a little better. I think if he had brought the old stuff that we all like instead of just doing Blinding Lights, where it's like, all right, dude, like we get the Blinding Lights thing.
Yeah, we've heard that on the radio. So so like at Olive Garden, we had a speaker system in the back for the cooks, and they would mostly play like Spanish music during the day, but then at night they would just put it on like K-Rock or something like that, or Jack FM, where they're playing a little bit of everything. But then sometimes, playing what they want. But then sometimes they would just have it on like whatever radio, and there was one time where that song literally came on 5 times in my shift. Like I counted, and there was a chef. Her name is Christina, and she's like a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like a little bit older, but she's the best person ever. And she was on appetizers that day, and so appetizers was by where the bread was at. So I'm always there. Like just every server's always there getting more and more bread for these people over here. Yeah. And so I was like there waiting for bread because there was none there. So I was just kind of like kicking it there. And Christina was just like in Spanish, she goes, like, is this song really playing again? Like, are there no other songs in the world to play other than this song? She's like, I liked it the first time I heard it, but the second time I was like, okay, well, I've heard this already. And then the third time it's like, okay, why are we hearing this? The fourth time I'm annoyed. And the fifth time I'm about to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Like you make me not want to hear this song. And I liked it, at first.
It just sounds like a sample of Take on Me or whatever. It's just like a sample of that. Yeah. And so it's over and over, and it's like I mean, it's
that's
kind
funny. It's just that's the crappy thing with the radio, It's just like
that's why I don't listen to radios, because it's the same song all the time.
You can't.
There's so many other good songs out there that the radio, like, I don't know why there isn't a radio station that just plays like just goes like deep in songs, or that like diversifies.
You gotta get XM. That's the whole thing. You pay for, this is public radio. They play what the industry wants you to play, right? So that's their whole deal. If you want that kind of thing, you got to pay for XM radio. But that's the glorious thing with streaming now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with Spotify.
Nobody needs to listen to radio because of these streaming. And there's this argument that streaming is destroying the music industry, but really, I mean, it's just a way for them to promote their music. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's why
it was sucky for me, because like I didn't have a Bluetooth in my car for like the longest time. So like I had to listen to like the radio or something, or like my headphones. And like it just sucks, dude. Like there's so many commercials, there's so many like stuff on that sucks. I mean, that's why like we all quit cable, because cable was sucking, and Netflix was like, here, how about you tailor it? You know what I mean? Like that's why they did what they did. But I mean, XM, the couple of cars that I've been in when they have XM, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is kind of cool. Like it cusses, like they'll go in depth, but I just feel like there's not a channel that really like explores new music or like really like, or like switches it up. Like, hey, like today we're gonna do rock and R&B and just kind of throw you everything. It's like it's always like you're doing rock, it's just rock, which is fine. But then like let's go into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that again, that's why you have so many different channels, and they're like, we play this, we play that, we play this, because I don't think a lot of people want a lot of variety in their music intake.
Yeah, maybe not.
You know,
maybe not.
If they want to listen to hip hop, they want to listen to hip hop. If they want to listen.
But exactly. But if you're Power 106, like, why aren't you playing like, okay, like we played Drake and Travis Scott, but now let's go to Code of the Friend. Here's Jid. Here's all these other guys. Here's
but again, it's the higher ups. It's not what they would want to play as a radio station. It's the music labels that are the record labels that are basically saying, these are our top 100. This is what you play, because this is where the money's at. Code of the Friend isn't even in the conversation because he's still technically independent in a way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's playing lo-fi. He's making lo-fi 2-minute long raps.
Right.
In an album that he's putting out that's so nice.
To
us, not to your average, listener, which sucks because it's really diminishing the art behind it and allowing the listener to make that choice for themselves of oh, I like this or I don't like this. They're basically telling you what you got to listen to. Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's just all what the record labels do. That's why that's the 22 when you sign to a record label, they tell you not to sign to a record label a lot of the times nowadays, because it's like, do you want to give up your creative ability and your say in what the products that you're producing? You know what I'm saying? If you do it independently, the way Chance is, which, God rest his soul, he's ruining it. Yeah. He's ruining it for everybody. But when you're able to take that route and do whatever you want, but we can use him as a great example of this. The positives that you receive through releasing independent music on your own are great, but the negatives in releasing your own independent music, after maybe having a little bit of success or whatever, and not being as good as you think you are, or like whatever, are even more detrimental. Because if you had the label and you had a bombed album, you still at least have a contract for another 3 albums that you got to put out. And now you have people coming in and having an influence on you and say like, hey, like that album was shitty. Let's do something different and let me help you. Let's get some writers in here. Let's get, because they have more at stake.
Yeah, I definitely think there are some positives to the label. I don't know if they're like just a big bad label the whole time. And also, you just kind of got to be smart. You know what I mean? You just got to be smart because, it's a business. So, like, if you're going to give them all your masters, you just got to understand going later in life what that's going to do to you. You know what I mean? You got to have some foresight and think of it as a business,
Right.
So,
well, and that's why, again, you got to just know how that industry works, and you got to be on top of it with an attorney who's, trustworthy of you as an individual, not as a famous person. You got to have a manager that's trustworthy of you as an individual and as a friend, not as a famous person, and because you see this time and time again where somebody has a manager who is just given to them because they're good at their job. I wouldn't want a manager that's good at their job. I would want somebody that, trusts me and my creative take on things and wants me to succeed. And through my success, then he is successful as well as a manager. And so my goal and job as a manager is to first and foremost protect my artist.
Like, for sure.
At the core of whatever the artist wants is that's what, and sometimes what the artist wants is not necessarily what's best for him. And that's where the manager's insight comes into play. And, and because they have that relationship, it's like, hey, look, I know you want this, but let me tell you why I think this is not the right route.
And that's that's where the Chance kind of messed up, where it's like, he didn't listen to his manager and all that stuff.
100%.
Yeah. Cause I definitely think that the criticism, especially like if you're not as big, I don't think you have as much leeway, because once you come big, they're like, all right, be creative, do whatever the hell you want. But there still has to be some guidance and stuff. But yeah, I definitely think you can get caught when you do stuff with like a label and stuff. But you got to have a good team around you.
Yeah, you can get caught in either or. It's just about having that insight. And again, if you're just right off the get-go, and again, this is like a great example of like Joe Rogan or anybody that's doing these podcasts through comedy. They're starting to realize that, we don't have to be in Hollywood to be comedians. Like we can be comedians with our podcasts and our online content and through doing stand-up comedy. Right. And we don't have to get a sitcom the way back in the day you would do stand-up comedy to try to get a sitcom and to try to get a movie, the Eddie Murphy route. You do stand-up you get SNL, and then you get movies or TV. You know,
right?
You don't have to do that anymore. And I think through the realization of that, that's almost the same core. That's the same kind of basis that independent music has right now. You know, stand-up comedians and independent record artists are very, very similar in that they want to put out what they want to put out, and they don't want anybody to tell them. They just need a little bit of help. You know,
now it's just like you're just shooting for a Netflix special, kind of. Yeah, I mean, on your own thing, your place, your whatever. Yeah, I mean,
or you could even do it on yourself, because you know Andrew Schultz, he's done it on his own. He just put out his special on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Okay. By the way,
so it's like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because last pod I thought it was Akash Singh. It wasn't his stand up.
Okay.
It was actually the Pod Saves or He Saves America or whatever. It was Andrew Schultz. It was the other guy.
Right.
But I watched that one.
That's you didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
Oh, no. Did you watch the Save America one where he goes through like different?
Yeah, on Netflix.
It was too. Yeah. It was too like It seemed too rehearsed, too like I don't know. It seemed like almost like he was trying to do like a like an SNL sketch. Like he was doing like a, you know, like I don't know. Like I didn't like it. I didn't think it was funny.
Well, I mean, it was material that him and his team wrote, right? So it's like, and it was specific for this special. Like it's not like he just like thought of these things and was like, oh, let's put something out. It was like, let's create a basis for all the current event happened throughout 2020, and then let's make them funny. Like let's
to me it just wasn't funny.
It was
he kept doing the same hand motions the whole time too. Yeah, and then it seemed like too much. Like he was just like, everything was like, ooh, and we could talk about this just like this, and then this, and there's like, and like I think it flopped for me.
Really? Yeah. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, I was like, oof.
You watched all of them, or did you just cut out after one?
I watched two of them, and then I watched the Ricky Gervais stand up. Holy shit! See, like that was funny. Like that dude is hilarious.
He's unreal. He goes in.
And I realized he's kind of dark too, which is kind of funny.
He's an atheist, dude. Like that dude does not give a fuck.
No. Dude, he doesn't give
any two shits. But again, he's another person who's very independent. He does everything on his own. Like he has his own production company. He does his own film. He does all his own writing. You know, everything is just, you know, and he has the backing support of
he had
Hollywood
the
just
office
because of who he is
and stuff like that, which I think he was. I mean, that's a little different. You don't get as much freedom when you do a show like that, but
he stopped it though. Like he sold it to America. Like he sold it to Hollywood, and he was in the process for it for like the first season, and then after that he's like, well, they've completely like kind of taken off with it, and I don't care now. You know, like it's not his.
Show? Did
like
he start it?
Oh,
okay, that's pretty interesting.
But he has the British one. It's the British office. Right. Yeah, and that only had a season or two, and then he sold it.
Yeah, no, but he's funny. Like his and like I was just kind of like going back and forth and like trying to like find these different comedians because I was sick, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just watch something funny. But yeah, like the Andrew Schultz one I did not like, but the Ricky Gervais one was like, I mean, which you can't really compare them, but
it's a different thing.
Because Andrew Schultz thing wasn't even a stand up. I want to watch his stand up to see if I like that more. I feel like I'd like the stand up more than I would like the.
Yeah, that was just you know, again, like what I was saying is for that it was specific to what was happening with the current events with the media and all this kind of stuff like that, and instead of having like a left or right opinion, he was taking the left and right opinions and basically kind of meeting in the middle and basically saying that there's more root issues to everything, and what's happening in the media is just like superficial issues that we're going through, but like there's a cause root here, you know what I'm saying? And he would just kind of dumb it down to a very simplistic like basically being a better person and being more understanding, right? But then he was just putting in his punchlines there, like left and right, and that was the thing. It was short form, quick punchlines, the same way you would have like on an Instagram. And he did that in his own studio. He paid for it all. Like all of that was just him. So that's why it was cool, because there was Netflix just put it up. Like he said, I have this. Will you air it? And they said yes. And he did everything on his own. So that's why I thought it was cool.
That was fine. It just felt like, because even with stand up, there's those times in between the punchline, and it just felt like everything was a punchline, which diminished the value of your joke. because it was like joke, like so much back to back that it was almost like it like diminishes the value of when you build it up to say the punchline. You know what I mean? That timing, that like that's kind of where I was just like,
yeah. But that's why it wasn't a stand-up like comedy thing, and it was literally like a little short thing for 2020. Like it wasn't like But have you heard of Jim Jeffries? Have you seen Jim Jeffries?
No.
You'd probably like that too. If you liked Ricky Gervais, you'd probably like Jim Jeffries. Check Jim Jeffries out.
Yeah, there was a couple I was trying to look up to watch, but like some of them I just can't find a good one on Netflix. Or I'm like, which one's like the good ones? What's kind of like the ones that they're hyping up? You know what I mean?
Did you watch the Dave Chappelle ones?
I've seen some with you. I've seen some with you. So I don't know which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't. I did see the new Aziz Ansari one or newish one. Because I saw the original.
Where he talks about his issue with the date. Is that the one?
Yeah. Where he talks about like his like sexual misconduct thing. So like that was, but like I didn't like the editing though, like because they had that old crackle kind of film, and I thought that was just gonna be for the walk-in, and I'm like, oh, this whole thing is like that, and they had a camera on stage, literally like in his face like this. It was a weird camera angle, so that was kind of distracting to me. That it was like to the side here, like he would look down at the. It was kind of weird.
Did you see the Ari Shaffir double negative?
No, I didn't see that one yet.
Oh, dude, stop what you're doing today
and watch that.
Both of those. It's 2-hour specials that he filmed back to back. One's about childhood and one's about adulthood. It's called Double Negative. The first hour is about childhood and the second one's about adulthood. Dude, Ari Shaffir, Double Negative. A lot of people don't like Ari Shaffir because again, he speaks his mind and he says whatever he wants, and a lot of it is truth, and people don't like the truth, and he has a lot of he's very similar to Joe Rogan, right, where he's like pretty down the middle. He has leftist ideas, but then he has right ideas, but his whole thing is he's off the grid. Like he doesn't like social media, he doesn't like computers, he doesn't like technology. Like he has a flip phone and he just has an iPhone at his house for when he needs to do emails and stuff, and he has an iPad. But like he hates media because he doesn't like that he can't say whatever he wants, right? Like he's the one that got a bunch of backlash when Kobe died, because he said he was basically getting to the point of he hates how people glorify the deaths of celebrities when like really like they're just normal people. There's other people that are like dying for your country or doing way more things that are not being glorified, and here we are glorifying some dude who had sexual misconduct, like and he just was basically like ripping him apart for like some of the stuff that like he did have downfalls for, and he, but at the end of his tweet, it was like couldn't have come any sooner. You know what I'm saying? So he goes too far. Like but that's his whole thing, is it's that shock, like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. And some people hate it and some people like it, but down to the boil with his comedy is he's fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't like him or you like him, like whatever, his comedy is just so good. I would check it out. Double Negative.
Double Negative
on
is on Netflix.
Double Negative. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay, I'll check it out.
He was the one that had his whole Jew special, because he was raised Orthodox Jew. Like he was like gonna become like a priest and everything like that, and he just got out of it. And so he's super intellectual and knowledgeable of the religion. And so he had an entire hour. Me and Lauren went to go see it at downtown Brea. It was genius. But he had that whole special, and because of that Kobe thing, Netflix pulled the plug on it. And so he said, well, if they're if they're not going to put it up, then I'm not going to tour with this anymore, and I'm not going to film it. This was the opportunity for everybody to see it, so that they're fucking up. But dude, it was so funny. I mean, it was really, really good. Yeah, it was genius. It was genius.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely have to check him out then, because I've heard you talk a lot about him. So
yeah, Ari Shaffir, R-I-A-R-I is Ari. That's how you spell Ari, and then it should come up Shaffir.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check him out. I got nothing else to do. So I got a test, and then I'm gonna be doing that. So.
Oh, dude, this past week I royally effed up. So you know how ASU is in modules, right? Like your classes are in modules. So it was my assumption that the modules were talking about like weeks. So module 1 is week 1, and module 2 is week 2, module 3 is week 3.
It kind of is.
It kind of is, right? But it's not all the time. And so I finish my homework usually by Wednesday. So I do it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so that, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I pretty much have off and I can just work. Then I get like kind of the weekend off a little bit. And so I finished all my stuff. Come to find out, I went online yesterday to just kind of get ahead because I started on Sunday. And there was a test or a quiz due on the 4th, which was a Thursday. But I didn't go online on Thursday because I thought I was done.
Yeah.
And it was part of module 6, and I had finished module 5. So then I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So I go on there, I do the quiz really quick without studying or anything. I just like do it. Email my professor, like, hey, like, I'm so sorry, like, didn't realize this. I thought it was part of this. You know, I do my little explanation. Luckily, she was like, oh yeah, go ahead and resubmit it. Well, I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh, lucky ass.
Okay,
bro.
right? Okay, wait. So that was the one thing. I'm like, wow, that was like, Austin, you got to be better. Like, you know, what are you doing? Like, you know, okay, you got to be checking your stuff. You've got to be doing school every day. Like, even if you're done, just log on there, check it every day. Like, don't be lazy. Just get on there every day. So I'm downstairs. This is after the Super Bowl. I was working on music. Like, I'm about to take a shower, like, relax. This is like 9 o'clock. Go downstairs. I'm talking with my family. Come upstairs. It's like 9:30. And I go online to just check what I got to do for the rest of the week so that I can kind of set up. And I see that there's a discussion that's worth 70 points due at 10:55 Arizona time. It's 9:30 California time. So it's 10:30. It's 10:30. Yeah. I got 15-20 minutes to write 300 words on it's like, for media, it's like discussion of a specific issue, and you could choose between 5.
Yeah.
And I chose.
I hate discussion posts.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, like, I don't mind discussion posts, but like, you have to have time to like kind of like talk about it, right? Like, you formulate your ideas and like whatever. And so what I decided to write on, just because I was reading through my options and I didn't know any of it. I was like, oh, well, I don't know what to do because I'm screwed. I don't know what to do. But I read sensationalism, and I remember like reading about sensationalism. And so I was like, okay. And so I just quickly looked up what sensationalism was. I had to define it, literally copy and paste it from the book, like just typed it out. And then I had to give 3 examples of sensationalism within like media. And sensationalism is basically about like media writing to basically appease the public through like sex, violence, drugs, you know, like whatever, you know, things like pop culture basically.
Yeah.
And so I used Kim Kardashian's sex video with Ray J.
Nice.
Like, cause I was like, I know that story. So just, dude, quickly, just like, you know, like,
yeah, I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah. All publicity is good publicity, you know, like, even though this was a negative story, like, it was still used to basically glorify her. And now it basically propelled her, you know, career, because before this, she was just known as the daughter of Ben or whatever Shapiro, Kardashian. Rob Kardashian, there you go, from the O.J. Simpson case, and yada yada yada. And so then I did it on Chris D'Elia and his sex scandal like story, again basically saying like, you know, like with the Me Too movement, everybody was like eating this up and basically like canceled him through this. He hasn't been online since, but again, taking a negative story, the media and the public were able to capitalize on it because this just became a fluid news story within podcasts and yada yada yada, right? And then I used Miley Cyrus, you know, the once childhood star Hannah Montana had to evolve and reinvent herself as to a woman, dude, and just like using sex, drugs, and alcohol experimentation in her dude. I had 5 minutes to submit this thing, saved it, fucking went, downloaded it, attached the file, boom. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. I did it. And then I'm like looking through my thing, a bunch of like word errors, sentence structures. I didn't add the news stories. And then I didn't develop the definition for sensationalism on my own. It was in your own words, and I'm like, oh my god, she's gonna get me for plagiarizing. I'm like basically gonna get a 0. Shouldn't have just submitted it. So I edited it really quick, and then I added like my articles, And then I just messaged the teacher. I was like, hey, I submitted you the rough draft. I attached the original, the correct one in the comments section. Like, if it's not okay, like, then, you know, whatever, at least I tried. But I literally wrote like probably 400 words in a matter of 15 minutes.
Was she fine with it though? Did you take it?
I don't know. I mean, I submitted it before the time, so all I wanted was not to get a 0.
Yeah, I'm really bad with checking the modules every day, because like you'll get caught with that. I'm like, oh wait, like it was due, like everything's due on Sunday and there was something due on Thursday. Like, what the hell? Like,
dude, you know, I hate that. They're like,
I get caught with that all the time.
The last 2 classes that I had, they specifically said like everything's due on Sunday. Both the classes. Yeah. They're like,
that's why like Sienna's always tell me, like, look at the course schedule, put it in your calendar so you know, like, hey, there's a quiz today. I'm like, I should probably do that.
That's exactly what Erica said. She's like, you need a planner. I'm like, oh,
you know what? You know, I remember like there was a meme, and it was like, I have ADHD and stuff. My mom was always like, get a planner, and I'm like, and then there's like this meme where you get a planner and it was like cures ADHD or whatever, and it's like part of the ADHD is that I'm not going to write in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But the phone calendar is good. I used to use that sometimes, but.
This is the first time that this has ever happened to me, and now I'm like scarred. So I literally
check the course schedule. Check the course schedule over the modules.
Okay.
Because that will tell you the dates.
I was like, I couldn't fall asleep because I was like, do I have something due right now?
Yeah, literally. I know. I got a midterm and I got a discussion. I think I'm good, but yeah, I mean, same thing for me. It's going to be just back to back to back to back. I had something due.
That was not fun.
I had one thing due the day of. I looked on it and I was like, oh shit, like I didn't even know that. Like, it was a whole project I had to do. So
yeah, that was me, but in the matter of like minutes. I was stressing out the whole time. I was like, fuck, you know, like
your hands are just going.
And dude, and it's just by the grace of God that like this assignment like was so easy to like with that word that was there that I was able to use. And there was 3 topics of like just like I think about being able to write music and kind of like think on point with like after taking like public speech classes and a lot of writing courses and things like that. Again, it's just like by the grace of God that I was able to like even come up with any of those ideas like that in the moment.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then I was thinking too, like, thank God I'm not like smoking or drinking right now, because if I would have been, like, game over. Like, you know, I would have not even checked my computer.
Yeah,
and I would have been like yeah. So I was just like, oh, thank you, God. Like, thank you.
yeah. You're like,
yeah, that was wild. That was not a fun experience. So I hope that never happens again. I hope I learn from my mistakes and freaking don't let that happen again. That was not
you
fun.
won't. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't learn from it. I still don't check my shit, bro. That's why I've been in school for so long. This is why I don't graduate, bro.
When are you graduating? 2 years?
No, I should graduate by summer. Probably 2 years. But should be by summer. Yeah, I should be done soon. So I gotta contact advisor. I gotta get my stuff for graduation, but I should be out. So
sick.
Can't wait, dude. Can't wait.
Yeah, hell yeah. Big boy job. Here we come.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm ready for it.
New stresses and anxieties.
I know. Great. Can't wait.
New discontent and unhappiness in a job that you kind of don't want either.
I just want the job that pays money so I can move out on my own and then figure out what I'm gonna do when I have that like safe income. You know what I mean? So
right. Yeah. We'll see. For sure. Big things are coming. All right. Well, I gotta get going. So
yeah, me too.
Glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully
feel better.
So next week we should be good to actually meet up again.
Yeah. Good to be. I think we'll
get
be
another
studio.
Negative or what's up?
We'll be in the studio.
I don't know. Yeah, we could. Yeah, we probably could be. I wanted to shampoo the carpets and like vacuum and stuff before putting all that in there, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that by this week. But I'm going to paint it this weekend. Okay. So I think we'll probably still be in my room.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to be like doing all that.
The negative thing is, so I guess apparently you don't test negative for a couple of weeks. Like it could stay in your system. So because I was talking to work and apparently
does that make you contagious though?
No, apparently you're fine. the what's it called? You're not contagious. You'll still test positive, and you'll still have some symptoms. Like I could still have my cold stuff, but as long as I don't have a fever, I can go back to work. So I'll be at work and stuff. So there's certain things, yeah.
All right.
But if not,
we'll just wear a mask in here or whatever. I don't care. You know.
Yeah. Like I said, I think once you have those big symptoms, those days, those are your contagious days, and then I'm good. It just kind of like it's still like there, like you'll still test positive apparently. But I think I'm gonna go for a test maybe this weekend or next weekend and see, just to like really make sure. But
okay.
If anything, we can do Zoom again. The audio is not too bad, so.
True. Yeah, maybe one more Zoom, and then by that time we should be in the studio.
Yeah.
So dope. All right, man. Well, take it easy. Get some rest.
Yeah.
Talk to you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
It's big small talks with Chucky, me and you. It's big small talks, BSing with the group. It's big small talks, expanding points of view. It's big small talks. It's big small talk.